this content is for kids.
It's not for kids.
Isn't that what I said?
No, it's not for kids. If you are 13 years or younger, this is not for you. Do I have to kill somebody in order to actually make that point across?
No, man, you don't have to kill
Wait
no one.
a second.
Oh, no.
When we return to our planet, the High Court may well sentence you to torture.
He likes movies, we like movies. SeptumSin versus the world. SeptumSin versus the world. SeptumSin versus the world. SeptumSin versus the world. I'd buy that for $1.
Greetings! You're watching SeptumSin versus the world. I'm SeptumSin. This is Kotobukijake, and we're here to show you what we got.
Show me what you got. I want to see what you got. Oh boy.
We got some fun stuff.
We
this
got
time.
the stuff.
And I'm going to start off with one of the bigger ones. Sterling Entertainment is at it again with their box sets. Crazy. And their next one is their Empire of the Apes collection. Again, I love the artwork that they do on these boxes. And like most of these, they also come with a Blu-ray editions with all new artwork. And I've got the old editions that I do have of the 8 movies. Of course, they came with a new movie specifically from the box set, Invasion of the Empire of the Apes. I'm guessing they're really trying to improve upon their, aptitude. At least that's what I try to think that they do, Revolt of the Empire of the Apes. And you can see this is the actual. You can see the two covers. What do you think? Which one looks better to you?
The new one looks a little more fun.
And you got kind of like the ape guys in ape suits harassing women.
Is that the one that? I think that's the one I just presented, isn't it?
I think so.
Might be.
All right, the other one here. Of course, the original Empire of the Apes, which you can see here. I don't know what that's about. He's got his other box sets pictured in here. So, again, they like to go with that ape face motif here. But, so let's go replace that one. And then, of course, the final one, Guerrilla Warfare Battle of the Apes. Boy, that looks so good. That's the cover that it's replacing there. So look at the beautiful stuff on the back.
Beautiful.
I've been meaning to watch these. I think I even was one of the ones who suggested it to Sterling to release this box set. It's like, you got a crap ton of these movies. Why don't you go ahead and release a box set for them? You got a box set for a series with only 2 movies in it. Why not get one where you have some meat on the bones? So we've got this Apitude set here. So I got the other 4 there. I just keep putting them on top and stacking them until they eventually fall down.
That's probably the good goal.
It's going to be a tower of Sterling box sets here.
All right. So next up, on a slightly different end of the spectrum, we have a film that was an Oscar nominee. Supposedly a really good film based on a book by Michael Lewis, which I have not read. I've read his other book, The Big Short, but one of these days I'll read this. And it's a movie called Moneyball.
Oh.
Brad Pitt, Jonah Hill, the late Philip Seymour Hoffman. You got some other good folks in there as well. This is basically a Bennett Miller film. Again, based on the basically Lewis is a nonfiction writer who made financial shenanigans interesting in The Big Short, so that takes some doing. But this is about baseball, and specifically the business of baseball. It's a good film. I enjoyed it. It's one of those ones that suffered for a long time of, do I have that one?
We all have that.
I finally got it. Actually, I got it months ago, and it's been sitting there.
It's a decent film.
Yeah.
All right, so many of y'all know about my my collection Beck, which I had gotten this $5, half off at Movie Stop. Rest in peace. But this one is kind of banged up. So, a person, the guy who runs Otaku Joe's, which is kind of an anime reseller, and he had a whole bunch of these. And he was like, these like ones that come with just the first volume. And he was like, $10. I was like, $10? And this one looks much better. I mean, doesn't have, this is still together. Looks a lot better, actually, than the other one. No stickers on it. Now, that is the sad thing. My point of pride would be gone. I've already transferred all of these into it. But it also comes with the original Volume 1 there. And, of course, these stickers.
Nice.
So, when we do our watch for June, because this will be the series for June, I do plan on cracking this open. But this actually does come with the guitar pick, which I don't believe my other copy did. Let me see. I got a Masters of the Universe. Yeah, it doesn't have the filler guitar pick in it. But it still has a lot of the other things, a lot of the other inserts in it. But, so, this is basically, I've upgraded it to where it has all the extra little elements in it to make it the full-on collector's edition, and not just a beat-up one that I bought for $5, which is still nice, but for the series. But it's a great series. Beck Mongolian Chop Squad, say the full name, is an amazing show. Did you actually watch this one?
I saw 2 or 3 episodes.
So yeah, it's a good show. I have, so I'm kind of glad to upgrade this. I don't know what I'm going to do with the other one. It's not really worth a lot. Maybe I'll put it someplace. Somebody buys it eventually.
Right.
It's just, it costs more probably to ship it than it's worth. So,
right.
It'll probably just sit here until I find somebody to take it off my hands.
It's good times.
But still, I am kind of glad upgrading is taking place. All right. I'm going to take this out and put it elsewhere.
I do look forward to seeing that. So next up, another Oscar nominee that I sat on for a minute and trying to get. I think I ended up getting it from eBay pretty cheap. And this one is super common in the wild. You see it everywhere. It's one of the reasons why it's so hard to remember if I'd gotten it. This one's a little less common in the wild, so, you know. But this was a movie I actually genuinely liked when I saw it, and it's called My Week with Marilyn. And it's got Michelle Williams as as Marilyn Monroe. And you've also got Kenneth Branagh, Eddie Redmayne, Judi Dench, etc., etc. Branagh plays Sir Laurence Olivier, and Redmayne plays a third assistant director named Colin Clark. This is Dominic Cooper's in there, Julia Ormond, Emma Watson, etc., etc. Simon Curtis film. Probably one of the later. Well, it's a Weinstein Company production. anyway, but it was a fun film. I looked forward to seeing it again, and I'm glad to finally have this one.
Now, I had a whole bunch of stuff come in today. Matter of fact, 2 of these items already came in today.
Nice.
And
It's
let me
almost the opposite,
see.
huh?
And one more of these items came in today. Because I had the Otaku Joe's order. I had an order from Dane, which none of that stuff was new. So that didn't make it here. And I had a Wet Movie 1 order. And this is the only one off of that order that I've got up here, because he had a bunch of new stuff that was in the order. And that is Ammonite. Now, this was a 2020 film with Saoirse Ronan and who was the other one?
Kate Winslet.
And Kate Winslet, yes. In 1800s England, acclaimed but unrecognized fossil hunter Mary Anning works alone in a rugged southern coastline. With the days of her famed discoveries behind her, she now searches for common fossils to sell to tourists to support herself and her ailing mother. When a wealthy visitor entrusts Mary with the care of wife Charlotte Mercian, she cannot afford to turn his offer down. Proud and relentlessly passionate about her work, Mary initially clashes with her unwelcome guest, but despite the distance between their social classes and personalities, an intense bond begins to develop, compelling the 2 women to determine the true nature of the relationship. So it looks interesting. He is offering it up really cheap, and I went ahead and added it to the pile because it's good to have another 2020 release.
Right.
Something else I can look at for the potential awards. I don't know if it's going to make anything, but you never know. Saoirse Ronan was very big last time, and Kate Winslet's a huge actress.
Both of them were heavily lauded for those performances. And yes, they both are in that short list of people who may take over for Meryl Streep one of these days. All right. So, next up, we have a film that was not an Oscar nominee. And honestly, it's kind of a shame. And actually, strangely enough, I think this is the only film I'm presenting that I saw in theaters. Because I don't think I saw Moneyball in theaters. I actually did see this one. And it is, if I remember correctly, the directorial debut of co-star Joel Edgerton. And it's a Blumhouse production called The Gift. Not to be confused with the also excellent and creepy Sam Raimi film, The Gift. But this one is Jason Bateman, Rebecca Hall, and Joel Edgerton. And basically, Edgerton and Bateman are acquaintances from days of yore. And somehow they come back into contact. And Edgerton is sort of he's sort of like the neighbor who won't go away. He's not a neighbor per se, but like the friend, neighbor, whatever, that just won't go away. And Bateman has an unreasoning hatred toward him that becomes stronger and stronger as the movie goes on. It's a pretty interesting and creepy film, and I enjoyed it. And I was looking for a chance to get it cheap, and I finally did.
All right. Well, my next one is also one that probably could have won an Oscar.
It sounds like it.
And I got this off of a Shop Factory sale. No, Vinegar Syndrome sale. It was a Black Friday sale. Called Hell Comes to Frogtown. Yeah, well, the title should tell you why I bought it. I want to get some of the sequels to it, but there's a crap ton of special features. Vinegar Syndrome's really good about their releases. But listen to this. In a post-nuclear Holocaust wasteland, Sam Hell, played by Rowdy Roddy Piper, chewing bubblegum and kicking ass, but he's out of bubblegum. Maybe in this one he has the bubble gum. Is like most other survivors, a nomadic scavenger roaming the bombed out remnants of the world for food and survival gear. But Sam is also harboring a major secret that even he isn't aware of. He is the last fertile man on Earth. Sorry. As unexpected pregnancies are discovered, the remnants of the government decide to capture him, and with the aid of scientists, Spangle fit him with a secure chastity belt to ensure his virility is used only when needed. After learning a group of supposed virgins who are being held captive by frog mutant savages, Sam is sent on a rescue mission to free the women and then, of course, impregnate them.
Of course.
Is he up for the job? You bet. Oh,
I don't know. It sounds like it'd be hard.
I love the frog has an eye patch too. You see, it's just
Nice.
I've heard a lot of people love this film, and I understand why because of the because I've read this, and every time I read it, I crack up.
Nice.
So I've got to see this eventually. I'm gonna put it up one of these days.
It sounds fun. It sounds like one the group would go for.
Oh come on, you know you'd want to do this.
Oh, I want to see it. Yes, I like that description. Okay, next up, we're going to follow up with one that I am decidedly more conflicted about, which is kind of sad because it's a really good movie in a lot of ways. It has great music, great acting. It was highly acclaimed. It, I believe, just missed out on Oscar nominations, but the entire premise of the film is one that pisses me off. This is a film where the hero of the film is doing something that I find repugnant. And so, but I still had to get it eventually for the collection. And that is a movie called Salmon Fishing in the Yemen.
Huh.
Which features Emily Blunt, Ewan McGregor, and again, they do a great job with their roles. You've also got Kristen Scott Thomas in there, Mira Kidd. It's a Lasse Hallström film, and I love the Lasse Hallström films. He does a good job. And like I said, just wonderful music, which is usually a hallmark of by Dario Marianelli. The problem is, McGregor plays an like a fish scientist, ichthyologist, but what's the word? Fisheries expert. That's closer to what I was trying to get at. Mm-hmm. Who is tasked with figuring out how to establish a viable salmon stock in Yemen. There are reasons why there are no salmon in Yemen. This sort of bullshit has wrecked aquatic ecosystems all over the planet, and it pisses me off. This is not a story where I want to root for the protagonist, but you can't help but like the guy. Mm-hmm. And it's a well-made movie. And I'm like, damn it, I wanted to hate this movie so bad. Mm-hmm. But I liked it, so I had to get it eventually. But I'm not looking forward to seeing this again. And if we ever bring this up in the group, y'all can expect a 20-minute rant from me about fisheries bullshit. But anyway, there it is.
Should record it beforehand and then say, now we're going to bring you this important message.
Exactly.
So these two movies, there's one thing about the series that pisses me off, and I'm going to talk about that in a bit. But Shudder had helped put the last two out of this. And we're talking about Hell House LLC. Now this is a special edition director's cut. I've actually never watched the director's cut all the way through. I've only seen the regular version. Mm-hmm. We put this on just for a whim, and it's of course it's what do they call it? A found footage film about these people. They're setting up a haunt in a haunted hotel, essentially. which doesn't go very well. Go figure. And it does a great job of being creepy as hell. I mean, really. This is very well done. I really like this film, and I thought it was well worth watching. So much so, I also got the second one, which for a while you could only get for free off of Shudder, which is the second one, the Abaddon Hotel, which goes a little bit more into the background of the hotel and more people venturing inside, to die.
Mm-hmm. As you do.
The issue is there is a third one, and they were to have it out by October of 2020. Of course, what happened in 2020? Little thing. But I'm not going to say it. Not going to say it. But one thing I am mad about is that we have an incomplete trilogy here. And a mismatched one at that, because this needs to come out in Blu-ray.
Mm-hmm.
I went ahead and got these in case they disappear, but it does make me so mad that I cannot complete the trilogy, because the third film is a solid film. It is a good film. It is a very creepy film, and the only way to watch it right now is streaming.
And by the time this video airs, you'll get the news that they're putting out a...
Well, that's the thing. I figure if I complain about it, it will come out.
Stranger things have happened at sea,
Indeed.
All right. Next up. We have mentioned a couple times things that we could talk about, with the movie group. There's a franchise that we have talked about and are getting ready to revisit again. And he hooked me up with a good, basically all of it. So, we have the Alien Triple Pack, which is Alien, Aliens, and Alien, I guess you could say Alien Cubed. I guess that's the best way to play it. In a nice little condensed pack. You've also got Alien Resurrection, Prometheus, and Alien Covenant. So, not bad to finally have all that in the collection. I previously had an unwatched copy of Aliens, which paradoxically, of the three I've seen, was the one I hated. We recently covered Alien. We'll be looking at Aliens, in 3 weeks? 4 weeks?
Yeah, sometime in June. I want to say second week, maybe.
Okay, so pretty soon. I have seen Prometheus, and I thought it was pretty decent. So I look forward to eventually seeing these all. I doubt I'll watch them all to prepare for Aliens, but I might try and at least get through this set to prepare for it, which will be nice. I like Alien to a degree. I'm not blown away by it, but I wouldn't mind seeing it again. But good to have those in the collection. That's an important piece of movie stuff.
So, mine is not so important. It's a Dollar Tree pickup,
Ooh.
which is what I'm ending on.
Ooh.
And that is the movie Hell Ride.
Ah.
I mean, I saw this in the... Quentin Tarantino presents, so, he produced it. And it's $1.
Mm-hmm.
I know I've seen this multiple times for much more than that. And it looks like a fun film.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. Writer and director Larry Bishop comes to this lean, mean mayhem machine, fully loaded with bikers, babes, and booze. Michael Madsen, Eric Balfour, and legendary Easy Rider Dennis Hopper are part of a wild motorcycle gang bent on avenging the death of one of their own, with Vinnie Jones as the crazed, arrow-wielding rival gang leader. Hell Ride is savagely enjoyable and a good time where the women are hot, the bikes are even hotter, and the action never stops. Vroom vroom.
Good times. Good times.
Come on, doesn't that sounds like a Tarantino movie.
I'd buy that for $1.
Yeah, well, I did.
Alright, and this one cost me decidedly more than $1. And I do rather envy Brandon his format over this format. But in preparation for June, I also have Beck Mongolian Chop Squad. The Save Edition. Isn't that a lovely green stripe?
You need to check and see. Does it have the reversible?
It may or may not. Okay, it does, but if you reverse it, it's not really going to be useful on the shelf.
Oh, yeah, it doesn't look right.
Yeah, most of these, quote, reversible covers really aren't all that reversible.
I don't remember.
But it's, again, I've seen part of this. I look forward to seeing the whole thing. It will be a fun discussion, no
I
doubt.
want to say this one was a... No, that's not it. I think I took it out.
Right.
I think School Rumble was a full-on reversible one. But I had to do a lot of...
That's quite rare, though. I checked another one. It was Shakuga Nashana. I checked, and that one did not fully sync up either. Like, it was a nice-looking cover, but...
There were a couple of them that were reversible.
Yeah.
Now, School Rumble was one that was a pain in the butt because I had multiple copies with faulty discs.
Yeah.
But different discs were faulty. But since the Save Edition is the same as the regular edition in pretty much every way but the cover, I was able to transplant and make a working release and one that was almost totally dud. So I left the save cover on the dud.
Right.
And the regular cover on the regular release.
That's weird how that works.
Hey, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do.
Right.
And both of them were like $5, so for $10 I still got the full series.
Right.
Well, with that being said, I hope you've enjoyed this. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.